What is going on, New York Giant fans? Welcome back to another Roster Bubble Series video. Please hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops or a video drops. Appreciate y'all coming back. Also, share this out. It's still a dead time in the NFL offseason. Training camp is a few weeks away, but other content creators are not making content like we are, and we need a little bit more recognition. So share this out, the video series, and the channel. Greatly appreciated. Another Roster Bubble Series video. This one is being done on JC Hassenauer. Real quickly, I'll go through how we format these, about 5 to 10 minutes long. Take a player that's on the cusp of being cut, talk about their background, competition, what they'll need to do to win a roster spot, what they'll need to do to lose a roster spot, or, how they could lose a roster spot, and then a prediction at the end. So JC Hassenauer is a familiar name for most people. He is 27 years old, was actually out of Alabama during the 2018 draft period, so he has familiarity with Brian Dable. Won 2 national championships with Alabama, 2015 and 2017. And overall, he's got a lot of experience at the NFL level. He's 27, 6'2", 305. Started as an undrafted free agent with the Falcons. Spent most of the season on the practice squad. Then was with the Birmingham Iron of the AAF, which is a league that does not exist anymore. Then, before they ceased operations, he signed with the Steelers and ended up getting most of his playing time there. He signed a contract extension in 2021, was placed on injured reserve due to an injury in 2021, played a little bit in 2022, and then he did not get re-signed by the Steelers, and he was signed by the Giants about 2-3 weeks before the draft. So, with that being said, his stats and experience, let's take a look at that. For Pittsburgh in 2020, he played in 15 games, started 4 of them, and played 30% of the offensive snaps, also got some playoff playing time. In 2021, played 30% of the offensive snaps, started in 3 games, and played 13. Played all games last year, 17 games, 4% of the offensive snaps. I believe they had a new center, so that's why he did not get a lot of playing time. I believe it was Kendrick Green, who was the center out of Illinois. But in his career in total, he also can play interior guard spots, not just the center position. He has under his belt a total of 545 regular season snaps at center and 147 left guard. 12 total pressures allowed, none of which were sacks over his NFL career. So he's yet to allow a sack in his NFL career, which is good. He comes in as one of the most experienced guys in the offensive line room. Let's look at the competition. Shane Lemieux, who I think was one of the first videos on, and he was drafted by the Giants in 2020, and he's very much almost off the roster at this point. So if you guys haven't already, go check that video out. Marcus McKeithen, who's going to make the roster either way, whether it's PUP or just making the roster in total, because he was drafted by the Giants last year, and he could play both guard and tackle. I think he might be able to play center too. Tyree Phillips can play guard and tackle, spent most of the time with the Giants last year, started some games when Evan Neal was out, so he's definitely got that versatility. Devery Hamilton can play guard and tackle. Was mostly a swing guy last year. I think he played in the Bears game when Evan Neal went out. Wyatt Davis played in 1 game for the Giants last year, was a former Vikings draft pick. That was the game where Giants were playing mostly backups against the Eagles in Week 18. And Jack Anderson, who had 2 starts for the New York Giants last year. The Cowboys game on Thanksgiving and also the Eagles game in Week 18. So out of the gate, Hassenauer probably has the most experience here. Wyatt Davis has not even close to play the amount of games that J.C. Hassenauer has. Same thing with Lemieux, McKeithen, Hamilton, and Anderson. I think the one that comes close to his experience is Tyree Phillips. But at the same time, Tyree Phillips, to my knowledge, I think he can play center too. I think he can play center, but he is mostly a left guard, right guard tandem guy. But J.C. Hassenauer is probably the purest center the New York Giants have on the roster right now, other than the drafted John Michael Schmitz. So yeah, going into how he could win a spot on the roster, stay healthy. I mean, that's probably the best one out there. It would really suck for the New York Giants for him to get injured or go on IR at all, because he's probably not the best offensive lineman, but he's solid, right? And he gives the Giants a little bit of veteran, I would say, presence in the locker room, especially with the interior offensive line. And if John Michael Schmitz misses a few games or he's not ready for some reason at the center position, you slide in J.C. Hassenauer, who has a ton of experience. Try to get some first-team reps. I know in camp right now it's been Azudu and Bredesen, and then Bredesen and JMS. And a lot of people are making it seem as though Ben Bredesen is on the roster bubble. I don't think so, to be honest with you guys, because he played particularly well last year, and he could also play the center position, but Hassenauer does have more experience. So I don't think there's really a competition between him and Bredesen. I think Hassenauer is a backup right out of the gate if he does make the roster, but also try to push others out of a roster spot. Keep going with your game, veteran presence, and all that. And he's got a leg up right now over a lot of the guys in there. And, staying healthy, once again, is part of that, and just keeping your game at the level it is, or even improving. I mean, yeah, he's 27, so it's not going to get much better from there, and he's not going to grow too much. How can he lose? Blown up by second and third stringers. He might get some first-team reps. I don't really see him being with the third team. He could. But right now I would see like JMS being on the first team and the second team, Hassenauer, and then the third team, maybe they'll switch in Bredesen or try to like put in Lemieux at center or any of the other backup guys like Jack Anderson or Wyatt Davis. I don't know. We'll see what happens when we get closer to training camp and even the preseason games. But blown up by second and third stringers and injury, those are the main factors in terms of how we can lose a roster spot. But for right now, how can win? Stay healthy, try to get some first-team reps, push others out of a roster spot. Once again, in my opinion, he already has a leg up. How can he lose? Blown up by second and third stringers, also injury. I think he's going to make the roster. I think Ben Bredesen right now could start out as the left guard. It could be also Azudu as well, but there's no reason for the New York Giants to go out there and cut Ben Bredesen. So I think Hassenauer starts as a backup unless, once again, JMS is injured. And even then, they could switch Azudu at left guard and then put Bredesen at center. But once again, when you have a pure center who's got a ton of experience in J.C. Hassenauer, I don't see the reason not to keep him over guys like Shane Lemieux or Jack Anderson or Wyatt Davis. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. So I think he's going to make the roster. I think he's going to be solid for the New York Giants. Maybe John Feliciano level. I don't think he'll play too many games in terms of being in the starting lineup unless injury happens, which hopefully it doesn't. You want to leave it up to the young guys overall. But comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Turn on post notifications when live stream pops or video drops. Appreciate you guys coming back. Also follow us on TikTok. We are doing one of these every single day till the middle of training camp, I should say. And it's going to keep on trucking from there. More content, Yankees, Giants, other stuff as well. Peace out, guys. See you later. Stay cool.